What's up? This is Miles, and today I'm going to talk about 4 things your business website needs to do in order to act as what I like to call a virtual salesperson website. Now, what is a virtual salesperson website? Essentially, your website can sell your products or services for you 24/7, 365 without you having to be there, hire an employee, or even, talk to a customer in general. And while a website can't take care of every single part of the process, especially if you're selling a service where there needs to be some face-to-face interaction to actually close a deal. It can do a lot of the heavy lifting. So the 4 things that your website needs to do to accomplish this are inform, build desire, build trust, and make it as easy as possible for a customer to take action. So for the rest of this video, I'm going to go in depth a little bit in each of these 4 steps and also give some practical examples and things you can do to apply them to your own website. So the first thing that your business website needs to do is inform. And this might seem like common sense, and in many ways it is the one thing that most websites do automatically. They're usually meant to act as kind of business cards or informative areas where someone can go to learn about your business. However, if you're not informing your customers in the right type of way, it can actually make your website a lot less effective than you'd want it to be. So what do I mean by not informing in the right way? Well, when somebody's coming on your website, they're really coming to find an answer to one question, and that is, can you solve the problem I need solving? Or if it's not a problem necessarily, how can you help me, or can you help me achieve the goal I want to accomplish? Now, a lot of websites I see don't really answer this question quickly and as soon as a website gets on the page. Instead, they talk about things like their company history, their company values, their mission statement, or just other kind of industry-related information that doesn't actually answer that essential question for their customer. So the practical thing you can do on your website to make sure that it is effective and informative as possible is just give that basic answer to the question as soon as they get on the website. So ideally, it would be you have your main hero section is what it's called at the top of your website, where you have a headline, a subheading, and usually a button. You want to put in that heading and the subheading exactly what you do, who you do it for, and why it matters. So the example I always use is a moving company. I'm going to switch it up and do a plumbing company this time. Let's say you're a plumber, you have your website, someone comes on, your headline should say, it can say something like best plumber in whatever area, or high quality plumbing services in whatever area. And then you should, in their subheading, maybe give some more detail. We take care of emergency plumbing services for all your emergency needs. Obviously, the wording is going to be better and more thought out, but in general, you can see that I'm clearly and quickly stating what I do for the customer, or what the business does for the customer, so that as soon as they come on the website, they're like, oh, yes, this website or this business can help me solve the problem I need solving. And the same goes throughout the rest of your website. There is a place for your history, your mission statement, a little bit about the company, and some extra information, because that does help build an image of you in the customer's mind. But in general, your website should just be telling the customer explicitly, if possible, how you can solve their problems. You shouldn't be talking about yourself. You shouldn't be talking about kind of random things about your industry, especially using a lot of industry jargon and things like that, if it doesn't directly help to answer that question for your customer. The second thing that your business website should do is build desire. Now, you can go online and find tons of articles and books and things like that on how to basically build up or make your customer want to buy your product or service. And there is a lot of useful information, a lot of strategy out there, but I like to keep it simple. And my mindset for building desire, from a customer's perspective, is just put yourself in your customer's shoes and speak to, their problems, their desires, what they want to accomplish, and things like that. Basically, if you're a business, you're usually in business to help people solve their problems. So all you have to do is talk like your customer, think like your customer, speak to their fears. Why are they coming on your website in the first place? What are they looking for? What do they need help with? If you can clearly communicate that throughout your website and communicate that you understand your customer, you understand what they're going through, and you have a solution to their problem, that building desire is going to be automatic, because they're going to see that A, you're a business that understands them, B, you're a business that can actually help them, and C, while they're on your website, if you're using the same language that they're using, if you're talking about the things that are going on in their mind, they're just going to have a natural feeling of connection with your business. A practical thing you can do to kind of help you out with this is something I actually do when I build websites. I go on Yelp or Google Reviews or any kind of review site, and I actually look for reviews on other businesses in my industry. Or for example, if I'm working with a plumbing company or something like that, I would actually just look at the reviews for the company I'm working with, and I would just look at what people are saying about the business. What do they like? What problems were they facing? Why did they come to the business? What did they dislike about the experience? What are they trying to avoid? You basically compile all of that information and also the kind of language that these customers are using, and you use it on your website. You don't obviously copy things word for word, but you can get a feel for how your customers talk, for the common problems that they're facing, the common service areas that they feel are lacking in other businesses. And you can use all of that information to communicate effectively and persuasively to your audience. The third thing that your business website should do is build trust. And I like to look at it from a perspective of what a in-person sales interaction would be like. A big part of that is going to be building trust, making the customer feel comfortable that you're a trustworthy business, like you keep your word, you're honest and things like that, but also that you can actually follow through on these claims that you're making. So on your website, if you're informing them about what you do, if you're speaking to their problems and their desires, if they read all of that and then they don't really get any proof or at least feeling of confidence that you can actually back up what you're saying, you're really missing a key component for getting someone to take action. So the main way that you can build trust on your website is through testimonials. Testimonials are huge. They're on most websites nowadays, and you can go on plenty of review sites to find them, but they're still always going to be an integral part of your website. So you need to have at least a few testimonials from satisfied customers on your homepage. Preferably, if you want some practical tips for how you can make these testimonials stand out, they should tell a story. So instead of just having a testimonial where your customer says, hey, this is a great business, I love them, they're nice people, things like that, you want to kind of get a testimonial that talks about the problem you solve for the customer. So, some questions you might kind of try and put in your customer's head if you're requesting a testimonial might be, why did you come to me? What problem were you facing? Why didn't you try and solve it on your own? What was the process of working with me? What did you like about the process? And really just kind of get a testimonial that tells a whole story about how this person, they came for you for help, they were feeling these emotions and this frustration, they had a great experience working with you, and then they got this amazing final result. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get that kind of testimonial all the time, but those are the kind of things you should be thinking about when asking for testimonials from past clients. Another thing you can include on your testimonials to make them even more effective is pictures of the customers that give them. Obviously, putting a face to words is going to be a huge trust builder because you can see that this person didn't just make it up. It's not some random person. This is a real person that wrote a real review for you. Another even above and beyond thing that you can do with testimonials is try and get some video testimonials. It's so easy nowadays with a smartphone to just record a customer talking about their experience of working with you. And you can do a pretty high quality video on the average iPhone or whatever Android. So just think about that. There's obviously some steps and work that you have to do that, but if you're able to kind of get that visual proof on your website in addition to a good story about how you help somebody, that can go a long way in building trust and go a long way in showing that not only are you modern, but you actually give your customers the experience you say you do. The last thing that your business website needs to do is make it as easy as possible for customers to take action and start working with you. You don't want to take them through this whole journey of informing them, building desire, building trust, and then kind of leave them hanging and not knowing what the next step is for them to get started. So the easiest way to do this on a website, and it's the most necessary way at the bare minimum, is clear and specific call to action buttons. So a call to action button is going to be those big buttons you see throughout websites that say things like contact us, schedule a quote, call us today. They should be big, they should be bold, they should stand out because they should draw a customer's attention to them. But most importantly, they need to be specific. So I mentioned contact us because that's one I commonly see, but you usually want a call to action that is a lot more clear and lets the visitor know exactly what's going to happen when they click on that button, when they take that action. So for a lot of businesses, you're going to have people scheduling quotes, you're going to have people calling for quotes, you're going to have people booking consultations, things like that. So in your button, you should actually put those words of what you want them to do. So if it's schedule a consultation, your button should say schedule a consultation. If it's call for a quote, it should be call for a quote. I think you get the idea, but the worst thing you can do is leave uncertainty and kind of doubt in a customer's mind of what's going to happen when they take that next step. Because a lot of times people, if they don't feel confident in the process and what's going to happen, they're just not going to do it. They're going to move on and maybe find somewhere that is more specific and more clear about, how to move forward. Another thing you want to keep in mind is making sure that there are enough opportunities throughout the website for people to take action. When people come on your site, everyone's kind of on their own individual sales journey. Some people are going to be ready to take action as soon as they get on their website. Some people are going to need to, have some more desire built, going to need some more trust, see some testimonials, then they'll be ready to take action. Some people might actually have to go through your whole website to get to that point. The key is you want to have those opportunities, those call to action buttons, strategically placed throughout your website so it caters to all of those different journeys. There's obviously some strategy and personalized touches in terms of how you do this according to which business and how your whole website's set up. But a major, a very basic thing that you can do is just have a call to action button that follows people down the page throughout your entire website. At the bare minimum, that kind of takes care of giving somebody the opportunity no matter where they're at. You just want to try and put yourself in your customer's shoes and think about how you would act if you're on a website in different situations. Another thing that I like to bring up for clients is you want to make the process of actually contacting you or scheduling the quote as easy as possible as well. And this won't apply to all businesses, but if you're a kind of business who has the ability to schedule online, to kind of streamline their sales and scheduling process, take advantage of that. There's tons of plugins and software that you can use that allow customers to book consultations, book Zoom calls, schedule quotes, even make payments on the website. It's fast, it's easy, it's convenient for the customer. One that I frequently use for clients, and I'm not associated with them at all, but it's something that has helped me, is called Calendly. It's a booking app that lets you pick a date, a time, and basically make the process as streamlined as possible on your website, sends booking confirmations, things like that. There's plenty of other options out there. I'll probably make future videos on different things that you can do for different situations, but the mindset you should have when you think about making it easy for a customer to take action is remove any possible blocks or kind of barriers for a customer to get started working with you. If you have the ability, the budget, or just the time to put in it, definitely invest in making the process quick and fast and convenient for your customers, because it will pay off. It will get more people to take action. It will kind of help that momentum, that sales momentum, build up on your website. So I hope these 4 steps were clear and I didn't ramble on too much. I have a tendency to kind of really get excited about this stuff. So let me know if you have any questions or comments or suggestions about this video or future videos. I will definitely be making more videos about this kind of virtual salesperson website and the different complexities and things that go into it, because it's a pretty in-depth topic that you can get into. But this was just a video that I wanted to give you the basic bare bones things that your website should do, and hopefully get you in the right mindset and give you also a few actionable steps to kind of get this process started. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.